Okay, hello, good evening. I'm Nancy Oblete once again, and I'm super excited to do this with you. So, we started a series last week, Fortify Your Relationship. Let's heal those cracks, let's fix them. And I remember that I got the motivation to do this series when I talked to a couple that were about to call it quits on their relationship. And many times this happens long after the relationship would have gone bad. Science and statistics tells us that many people wait until 6 months down, 6 years, in an average of 6 years to an average of 6 years before they speak up when they have problems in their relationship, meaning some people wait more and others less. I think that especially earlier on in our culture in Africa, we stay even longer. So they either speak up, get it, and many times when they are speaking up is late. They have lost their will to fight, not because the problems are insolvable or unsolvable, but the couple has lost their will to fight, their will to stick to the marriage. They've lost every zeal that they have to fight for the marriage. So last week we looked at some cracks that people need to identify early, that if a partner complains about a certain thing in a marriage, the other, whether they see it or appreciate it or not, they should listen to what this partner is saying and seek to understand from the partner's perspective, because it is two people that make a marriage. So once one person has an issue with what is happening in the relationship, then they should check on the relationship and begin to find ways to resolve the issue. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about a critical aspect of every marriage. Hello, thank you for joining me. I may not be able to see your name except you make a comment so that I can appreciate you. You can say hi, you can say hello, and then I can recognize you, because sometimes some people join and I'm not able to see their names. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about one of the basic foundations of every marriage. I am a builder by profession. I do construction. I'm a construction expert by profession. And we know that foundation is critical. Foundations determine how long a building will last. It is challenging to correct foundations in the future, but not impossible. Foundations can be corrected after a building has been erected. However, before people do that, they want to consider the quality, what they had put in, the value of the building, and everything before deciding if it is wise to correct the foundation. Please just say hi, just say hello, so that I get to know who you are as you join. Welcome, thank you for joining me today. So and in marriage we also have foundations, and one of those foundations is the couple's friendship. Friendship is a critical foundation in marriage, and every way down the road, especially I tell people that are getting married, every step down the road, your friendship will be tested, your friendship will be stretched. Things will come to seek to pull you apart as friends. And then if you allow those things in between, if you allow those things to pull your friendship apart, you would lose you will lose your marriage, because the friendship is the foundation of marriage. Our love feelings are only sustained to the degree that we sustain our friendship. When we lose our friendship, we will lose our feelings of love, our feelings of admiration towards our partner, and of course we know that that is a red flag. It is risky. And friendship is so important to the extent that some kinds of conflicts, some major conflicts in a marriage cannot be addressed or tackled by partners that do not have a solid friendship. If they attempt to do that, they may end up even breaking the fragile relationship they already have. That's how important friendship is. When I work with people that come from counseling, marriage counseling, when they state their problems and everything, usually I don't just go direct to start addressing the issues that they have raised, because those issues sometimes are not even the problem, they're just symptoms of the problem. So the first thing I do is to diagnose the relationship, to check everything, check the quality of their friendship, check if there's still admiration in the friendship, what's their trust level like, what's their commitment like, what's their perspective, what's their perspective towards their marriage. Hello, thank you for joining me, Hamas Communications. Thank you Trent, for joining. What's the quality of the friendship underlining this relationship? What is their perspective? Now, people can have positive or negative perspective towards their marriage, and it will reflect in the marriage. So when I do all that, if their friendship, if they have issues with friendship, then we don't continue to solve the problem that is presently on the ground. We go back to addressing their friendship. Many things can keep your friendship going. One, communication. When I say communication, I'm talking about talking, chatting, playing together. You see, people often say that when I hear people complain and say the problem in our relationship is that we don't talk, we don't communicate, what I actually hear is that there's no friendship. Because when people are friends, it is almost impossible for them not to talk to each other. It is almost impossible to have a friend, somebody that is your friend, that you are really friendly with, and you do not talk together. So what I hear is that friendship is lacking in this relationship. What builds friendship? How did you start? You talked a lot, you spent time together, you did things that were fun for the both of you. Are you still doing that in your relationship now? If you are lacking in the time you spend together, it is already a crack that is happening that would threaten the safety and security of the home you have right now if you're not spending adequate time together. And when I talk about adequate time, I'm not saying spend 100 hours together. Oh, thank you so much for joining me, Mr. Emmanuel Schreiber. I'm so excited to have you here. All right, so happy birthday once again. Your birthday was 2 days ago. Happy birthday once again. So friendship is key. Now, this when people have when we talk about spending time together, we are saying spending time away from children, spending time away from everybody, just the two of you. And it is so interesting that research has said if you want to keep your marriage steady with regards to friendship, all you need to do is to spend 2 hours a week together. Isn't that amazing? 2 hours a week. We are not asking for 100 hours a week. We are not saying leave everything you are doing to spend, but your marriage deserves time. So that 2 hours a week can be 15 minutes when after the children go to sleep every day, and then maybe you have one night out without children, spending together. Now, it's not just that you are in the same environment together, this proximity together. It's also about what you do when you are together. Are you talking? Are you related? Are you people having a conversation that is about you personally, or are you talking about other people? Once you spend that time talking about other people, even if they are your children, you are not spending quality time. You are not spending quality time. Once that time is spent with other people, you are not spending quality time. Quality time will mean talking about your personal experience. Like if a partner will raise something that happened at work, they will be talking about how it affected them, how they feel about it, what's their resolution about that thing is, how it is changing their perspective towards work, towards people, towards life in general. So that way their partner is getting to know them a little more, every day, because we change every day. As we have experiences, as we go through life, we keep changing, we keep evolving. So learning that will help us stay together. Learning that from your partner, learning who your partner is becoming, growing together. So those influences, is not only you that is having the influence, you are also sharing the influences that you are having from work, from your relationship with your children, from church meetings or religious gatherings that you attend. You are sharing it and having a fellowship with each other that helps you to know yourselves. So many people have an outdated knowledge of their partner, and it's a major crack. They don't even realize it. Now, you remember that you are more forgiving of people you like. Let me give an example. Let's say you have a celebrity that you celebrate so much, you love the person and everything, and the person does, let's use a man and assume he impregnates 5 girls at the same time. So they give birth maybe 1 month or 2 in between, 5 ladies. But this is somebody you really like. Even though you may not approve of the behavior, the way you will talk about it, how angry, how expressive you will be about it, will be milder than if it was an artist you didn't like at all. Because we are more forgiving of people we like. So when partners ensure that they stay in the like zone, it is easier for them to forgive each other. It is easier for them to resolve conflicts. It is easier for them to let down their guard and actually listen to their partners to understand what they are saying. So how is the friendship like in your relationship? Do you have an updated knowledge of what is happening in your partner's life? Let me ask some few questions that can help you answer that. Do you know presently what your partner, who are the closest people to your partner? Who are the closest people to your partner? Why does your partner like one of them more than the other? Okay, let's say when it comes to work, what's the current stress your partner is facing at work? Do they like their job right now? Are they enjoying what they are doing right now? Or are they struggling through the job, maybe for one reason or the other? Do you know what that reason is? Do you know your partner's present closest family member? Because if you are not really having quality conversations, you may not know these things. And these kind of conversations happen when you have what is called an open-ended conversation. An open-ended conversation is saying that you ask questions that make your partner talk, not questions that they can say yes or no to. How was your day? Fine. What happened to, okay, then you now ask, what happened today at work? Then the person now can talk. Oh, today this really. So what's your perspective about it? Now you are asking open-ended questions, because you are asking questions that the person will have to communicate, have to talk about. They don't just give you one syllable answers. Questions that have yes or no are easy questions that are one syllable answers, and you really never get to know who the person is. And remember that the more you know your partner, the more you love the person. To know you is to love you. When you spend time together, you love the person more. So if you are not spending 2 hours a week together, then your relationship may be beginning to have certain cracks that you are not even aware of yet, and may just resurface in the future. But right now is the time to tackle it, to be intentional, to spend time together, to work together as a couple, and create that home that you would always want to come back to. Spend time together. I recommend that at least in a week you should go out, do something that both of you love. Go out, maybe take a walk. It doesn't have to be one fancy place. It doesn't have to be where you spend money, especially if you are in a stage in your relationship where money is a challenge. You don't have to spend money, but you have to spend time together and ask each other open-ended questions. Curiosity is the power of keeping relationships going, of keeping friendships going. So continually being curious about your partner's world, about their likes, what intrigues them right now, about their hobbies and everything. Curiosity about what is happening around your partner is what will keep your conversation going and ultimately your friendship. Thank you for joining me today on Fortify Your Relationship. Next week I'm going to be talking about perspectives, because perspectives is another huge thing that we need to look at. It helps to keep a marriage going, or it brings a relationship to an end. Thank you everybody for joined, and everybody that will be watching later. Have a blessed weekend.